The house smelled like broken promises and unspoken judgments. I stood in front of the living room window, watching my family gather around the old dining table, their laughter ringing out as if the years of mockery hadn't scarred my soul. They had called me absurd, an idiot chasing a pipe dream, and forever dismissed my ambition as foolishness. "Painting? That's a waste of time," my mother had sneered. "You're never going to make it. Why don't you grow up?" My father shook his head, telling me I was an embarrassment, a disgrace to the family name. And my brothers? They'd tease me relentlessly, calling me the art fool or dreamer, a joke everyone knew would crash and burn. But I had refused to give up. I'd left that house with nothing but a battered suitcase and a stubborn heart, determined to prove them wrong. I devoured books on color theory, spent sleepless nights in cramped studios, and poured every ounce of my soul into my paintings. I worked tirelessly, fighting through self-doubt and rejection. Years blurred into a relentless pursuit, failures, setbacks, moments of despair. Still, I kept going, fueled by a burning desire to show my family and myself that I was more than their dismissive words. And slowly the tide turned. My work caught the eye of a gallery owner in a city I barely recognized. An influential critic praised my style, bold, raw, unapologetic, and suddenly I was exhibiting in galleries around the world. My name appeared in magazines. My paintings sold for more than I ever imagined. Every milestone was a middle finger to their cynicism. I was finally living the life I had fought for, and with each achievement, I felt a quiet, rising justice. Karma's ledger was settling its account. One day, I was invited to give a talk at a major art conference. When I stepped onto that stage, I knew this was my moment. I spoke about passion, perseverance, and the importance of trusting your own vision, even when everyone else mocks you. I showed my journey, from the earliest sketches in a battered notebook to the galleries that now hung my work. The applause was deafening, but more than that, I saw my family in the audience, silent, stunned, and perhaps a little ashamed. After the event, I decided to return home, not out of need, but out of curiosity. I wanted to see their faces, to see if they could finally understand what I had become. I parked my car outside that old house, my house, no longer a prison, but a testament to my resilience. I walked through the front door, feeling an unfamiliar calm, and found them gathered in the dining room. My mother looked up and blinked away tears, her face pale. My father's jaw tightened, and my brothers, men who once mocked and belittled, looked down at their plates, uncomfortable and silent. I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of years pressing down on me. I knew this moment was inevitable. "Hello," I said softly. "It's been a while." They looked at me as if I were a ghost. The silence stretched until my mother finally whispered, "Is that really you?" I nodded. "Yes, it's me." I pulled out a small portfolio from my bag and laid it on the table. "I want you to see what your ridicule almost kept me from. These are my paintings, my work, the dream you told me was ridiculous." As I opened the portfolio, their eyes widened. Vibrant colors, haunting landscapes, portraits that seemed to breathe. Each image the testament to years of sacrifice and relentless belief. My mother's hand trembled as she touched a canvas, a tear slipping down her cheek. My father looked away for a moment, then back at the art, trying to process what he saw. My brothers remained quiet, perhaps realizing that their mockery had been hollow, a defense mechanism masking their own fears. "I did this," I said, voice steady but filled with emotion. "All of it. Because I believed I could. Because I refused to let your words define me. I wanted to show you, prove to you, that dreams, no matter how ridiculous they seem, are worth chasing." The silence was deafening, broken only by my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. And then, unexpectedly, my mother reached across the table and took my hand. Her eyes were red, but her voice was firm. "I'm sorry," she whispered, "for everything." In that moment, I realized that the greatest victory wasn't the fame, the gallery shows, or the money. It was watching the walls they built around my dreams crumble, seeing my family face the truth that their words had been weightless compared to what I'd achieved through perseverance and faith. I had become what they once mocked, an artist, yes, but more importantly, the symbol that no amount of ridicule could keep a determined soul from reaching the heights it was meant for. Years later, as I walk through bustling city streets or stand before my latest exhibition, I carry that lesson with me. That the universe often tests us with rejection, but resilience is the only way to turn rejection into redemption. The whispers of doubt are nothing compared to the roar of self-belief. And sometimes those who dismiss you later watch as you redefine what's possible. Looking into my family's eyes that day, I saw the quiet acknowledgement of their mistake, and I felt a profound sense of peace. I had returned not to boast, but to show that dreams, no matter how ridiculous, are the seeds of greatness. They simply require trust, patience, and unwavering courage. And in the end, that's the real victory. The triumphant knowledge that perseverance rewrites destiny, and that karma, in its silent yet relentless way, always delivers its verdict. I had become my own testament, proof that even the most scorned dreams can bloom into joy, transforming pain into purpose and mockery into respect. And that, I realized, was the greatest success of all.